Hello everyone, I am Nick Harrison with Rocky River Woodworks, and in today's video we're going to be looking at the importance of sanding before staining or painting. We're also going to be taking a look at some interesting facts about sanding while answering some of the most common questions about sanding. You don't want to miss it, so make sure that you watch this video all the way to the end. Before we begin, make sure to subscribe, like, and leave a comment at the end of this video. Let me know your thoughts. I'd love to hear from you. Without further ado, let's dive in. Painting or staining may seem like a straightforward process, but achieving the best and long-lasting paint or stain job requires a multitude of steps. Sanding is one of these major steps. But what exactly does sanding do, and why should you sand your surface before you paint or stain? Let's go over a few important details about sanding. So, what is sanding anyway? If you've ever worked with wood before, then chances are that you're very familiar with the process of sanding. During sanding, a sandpaper, a tool, or some other sanding device is usually rubbed against the surface in order to remove paint, smooth out a surface, or in other instances make the surface rougher. By sanding, you're not just making sure that the surface is smoother, but you're also creating an adhesive surface for the primer, paint, or stain to stick to. So, how and when exactly should you sand? Yes, sanding is an integral process before you can stain or paint your surface. However, at what point should you perform this task? As mentioned earlier, sanding is just one of the many steps before actually painting or staining. So, where does it come into play? In truth, sanding comes in at different points of the process depending on which project you're undertaking. In most cases, sanding should come after you've cleaned a given surface. Even though sanding does remove dirt and debris from a surface, water and detergent does a better job of eliminating them. So, if you're planning on painting your home, you may want to start with washing your walls first. Then once the walls are dry, you can then sand the surface. Cleaning and sanding make sure that your wall achieves the strongest adhesion for your paint. If you don't do any of these things, then you might notice that your paint will start to crack or flake. Paint cracking on ceilings and walls happens for a variety of reasons. However, one of the major reasons and problems is poor preparation of a surface prior to painting. We have already looked at why and how sanding is important before painting, but what about staining? Applying stain is a pretty straightforward process that does not require a lot of explanation. However, for those not familiar with the wood staining, knowing how to prep the wood is a whole different thing. As you may well know, certain types of wood such as pine and maple have difficulty accepting stain. When they do accept the stain, the result sometimes can be blotchy or messy. To avoid this, you need to start out with sanding. Remember, staining highlights scratches and dings in your wood. Therefore, you want to have a smooth surface that has no blemishes. If you have enough material on the wood, sand down to the clean wood before you apply any stain. Also, make sure to get rid of all sanding dust before you do anything. It may be a good idea to invest in a good vacuum cleaner or a tack rag to wipe the surface clean of any remains. If you wish, you can wipe down the surface with a wet or damp cloth. By sanding your wood before staining, you make sure that you have fixed the imperfections on the wood. Minor flaws, such as any scratches or old stains, can be easily removed and restore the wood to a better condition. This also allows the stain to penetrate through the pores of the wood evenly. Sanding creates small invisible scratches on the wood that enhance the adhesiveness of the stain while evening out the wood. It also removes millgraze from new wood. Millgraze is that shiny look on wood that's produced when a blade cuts the wood into its finished shape. It prevents the stain from permeating the wood if it's not removed. Sanding helps get rid of millgraze quickly. It also strips away the finish from the wood. Some people prefer chemical stripping of paint or stain on a piece of wood. Unfortunately, it's not always perfect as it can leave traces of the previous stain on the wood. However, with sanding, you can easily get rid of all the previous stains or paint on a piece of wood. You may be familiar with these words. The start makes the finish. If you are, then you might understand why sanding your surface is the start of a beautiful finish or painting, stain or paint. Therefore, before attempting to paint or stain, make sure that you prep the surface thoroughly by sanding. Well, there you have it, folks. If there's anything that you feel I left out or a topic in mind that you want me to make a video on, feel free to let me know down in the comments section. Don't forget to subscribe for more videos like this. And if you found this video informative, don't forget to like, share, and comment. You can find this article and more on my website at www.rockyriverwoodworks.com. Also, be sure to follow me on social media at RockyRiverWW. I'm Nick Harrison with Rocky River Woodworks. Thank you for watching.